Science has answered some of humanity's greatest questions, from understanding gravity to uncovering the building blocks of matter. But with every answer, new questions emerge. Welcome to Cosmic Curiosity Lab, a place where curiosity drives exploration and science is our tool to understand the universe. Because every scientific discovery begins the same way, with a question. Observation, curiosity, and the desire to understand how reality works. This is what curiosity looks like at the edge of science. Today we explore 10 questions that science has not fully answered yet. Not because they are impossible, but because we are still exploring them. Why is there something instead of nothing? Modern physics tells us something extraordinary. Even empty space is not truly empty. According to quantum mechanics, the vacuum is filled with tiny fluctuations, particles appearing and disappearing in fractions of a second. Some theories suggest the entire universe could have emerged from such a fluctuation. Others, like string theory, propose that reality itself is made of vibrating energy strings, hidden in extra dimensions. Scientists are still searching for a theory of everything, a single framework that unifies quantum physics and gravity. But even if we find it, one question remains untouched. Why does anything exist at all, instead of nothing? Does the universe have an edge? We know the universe is expanding. Galaxies are moving away from us, faster and faster. This discovery led to the Big Bang Theory, the idea that everything began from a single, extremely dense point. But what about the shape of the universe? Observations suggest it might be flat, meaning it could extend infinitely. Yet some models propose it curves back on itself, like the surface of a sphere. In that case, traveling in one direction long enough might bring you back to where you started. And then comes the deeper question. If the universe had a beginning, what existed before it? How did life begin? We know that life is built from simple ingredients: carbon, water, energy. Experiments have shown that amino acids, the building blocks of life, can form naturally under early Earth conditions. We've even found organic molecules on comets and in deep space. And yet, no experiment has ever created life from non-life. Scientists call this transition abiogenesis, the moment when chemistry became biology. But how does a collection of molecules suddenly become something that can replicate, evolve, and survive? That moment remains one of science's greatest mysteries. What is consciousness? Your brain contains around 86 billion neurons. These neurons communicate through electrical signals, forming vast networks of information. Neuroscience can map these networks, predict behavior, even influence thoughts. But it cannot answer one fundamental question. Why does it feel like something to be you? This is known as the hard problem of consciousness. Why do physical processes create subjective experience? Why do we not simply function, like machines, without awareness? Why are some people left-handed? Roughly 90% of humans are right-handed. This pattern has existed for thousands of years, even in ancient tools and cave art. Scientists believe handedness is linked to brain asymmetry, the way our brain divides tasks between hemispheres. Genetics plays a role, but it's not deterministic. Even identical twins can have different dominant hands, which means chance may be part of the equation. A simple question with a surprisingly complex answer. Is time travel possible? Einstein's theory of relativity changed how we understand time. Time is not absolute, it can stretch and bend. Astronauts on the International Space Station actually experience time slightly slower than people on Earth. Near a black hole, time could slow down dramatically. Some solutions to Einstein's equations even allow for wormholes, shortcuts through space-time that could connect different moments in time. But there's a problem: paradoxes. If you travel back in time and change the past, what happens to the present? Physics hasn't ruled time travel out, but it hasn't made it possible either. Are we alone? The Milky Way contains hundreds of billions of stars, many with planets. Statistically, intelligent life should exist somewhere. And yet, we have found no evidence. Since the 1960s, scientists have been searching for signals from advanced civilizations through projects like SETI, scanning the skies for radio transmissions. So far, nothing. This silence is known as the Fermi paradox, the contradiction between high probability and zero evidence. There have been strange signals, brief anomalies, but none confirmed as intelligent origin. You can also check our dedicated video about mysterious signals from space. Link is in description. So where is everyone? Are intelligent civilizations rare, or are we simply not listening the right way? Why do we dream? We spend nearly 1/3 of our lives sleeping. And during that time, we dream. Some theories suggest dreams help process emotions, consolidate memories, or simulate real-world scenarios. Brain scans show intense activity during REM sleep, sometimes even more than when we are awake. But no single theory explains everything. Why do dreams feel so real? And why do they follow strange, sometimes impossible logic? What is dark matter and dark energy? Everything we can see, stars, planets, galaxies, makes up less than 5% of the universe. The rest is invisible. Dark matter acts like gravity we cannot see, holding galaxies together. Dark energy does the opposite, pushing the universe to expand faster and faster. We can measure their effects with incredible precision, but we don't know what they are made of. The majority of the universe remains unknown. Is reality a simulation? As technology advances, we are beginning to simulate entire worlds, from virtual reality to AI-generated universes. Some scientists and philosophers suggest that if simulations are possible, then it may be more likely that we are inside one than in base reality. This idea is known as the simulation hypothesis. But if it were true, how could we ever prove it? Bonus question. What is unidentified anomalous phenomena? In recent years, a new mystery has entered scientific discussion. Unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP, previously known as UFOs, but now studied with a more rigorous scientific approach. These are observations of objects or events in the sky that cannot be easily explained as aircraft, natural phenomena, or known technology. For decades, such reports were often dismissed, but today, that is changing. Scientists, engineers, and even space agencies are now analyzing UAP using advanced instruments and data-driven methods. NASA has conducted independent studies and concluded something important. There is no confirmed evidence that UAP are extraterrestrial, but we still don't know what many of them are. Some sightings turn out to be misidentified objects. Others remain unexplained due to limited or low-quality data. What makes this mystery different is that it is happening right now. With better sensors, AI analysis, and global collaboration, Science is actively trying to understand these phenomena, not through speculation, but through evidence. Some of these questions are ancient. Others are only just beginning to be explored. These questions don't mark the limits of science, they define its frontier. Because every unanswered question is an invitation to explore. This is what curiosity looks like, at the edge of science. So stay curious. If you liked the video, write in the comments which question is most interesting to you. Would you add to this list another question that science has not yet been able to figure out? Like, share, and subscribe to help fuel our curiosity about the universe.